What's going on, PSBL users? This is AA around here, bringing you guys the weekly recap. This is week 7 recap. Very, very close to the end. I'm super excited. Everything is so close from the top. Actually, no, the top spot has officially clinched. Spoiler alert, I will be talking about that after all these battles. What the bottom, not the bottom three, the middle three, 4th, 5th, and 6th place. I guess you could even consider 3rd place is fighting for a playoff spot. Can't wait to go through that with you guys later on. But let's get started with the recap videos. We just finished up like literally, I want to say an hour ago. So week 8 has officially started. Go check out your battles, and everything is looking very, very nice. So let's just get right started. I'm sitting up 3 hours of sleep, and honestly, doing this is probably gonna make me have another 3-hour night. But we'll see how this goes. We got your favorite team, the Buffalo Wild Chargers, versus the 64s. And when I say your favorite, I'm obviously kidding. Don't worry. But let's get started with Milotic, Mega Alakazam, Donphan, Crustle, Hydreigon, and Infernape versus Tapu Fini, Volcarona, Doublade, Zygarde, Porygon 2, and Golbat. Right off the bat, a lot of weaknesses for 64s by Doublade, including the Alakazam, the Crustle with Iron Head, Sacred Sword, and just not a lot of things that want to take a attack from Doublade. Doublade is actually very, very offensive. And also, vice versa, I would say that the biggest threat just right off the bat would have to be that Infernape. It has access, I believe it has access to Gump Shot, I'm pretty sure. Flare Blitz was going to kill these things. Close Combat, that. The only thing that might be able to stop it is a defensive Golbat, so pretty much if Infernape comes out, it probably will get a kill. Well, let's get right into it then. As we see Tapu Fini start off against Hydreigon. Already having a type advantage for Tapu Fini, Hydreigon goes for a U-turn, goes right into Alakazam on Tapu Fini's Moonblast. Did not take it super well. It looks like a second one will kill it. Mega Evolved, just tracing that Misty Surge, doesn't really mean anything. Energy Ball does 60%, goes for a Moonblast again, lives on 1% unfortunately. That will force a switch into Porygon 2 on the Psychic, which does do 35%, forces another switch into Doublade on the Focus Blast that goes right through Doublade obviously, and forces Alakazam to switch into Hydreigon on the Shadow Sneak. Doublade is obviously going to switch, fearing a Dark Pulse, into Golbat for a U-turn. Goes right back out into Mega Alakazam. Drains the Infiltrator, which is probably not going to help him that often, as we switch right back into Doublade on the Psychic, which does 62. But Pursuit comes out onto Alakazam, taking it out before he can even get a kill, as Milotic now comes out. As the Chargers go out into Tapu Fini, takes that Hydro Pump very, very well. As the leftovers comes out and goes for a Whirlpool, making Milotic not able to switch out at all, as Hydro Pump is not going to be able to do a lot at all. As now Tapu Fini goes for a Nature's Madness, taking below half on the Hydro Pump again. Still over 20% Tapu Fini should be able to live. I do believe 2 more. On the Moonblast, only does not able to kill, puts it back up over half. As another Moonblast hits Milotic, taking it to 13%, and they go for a Hydro Pump instead of a Recover again. The Moonblast does take out Milotic, as now Tapu Fini sitting at 25. As Crustle comes out, they go for Nature's Madness again, taking Crustle to 50 as the Shell Smash comes out. And now Crustle is able to outspeed and kill Tapu Fini with an Earthquake. I love the new Earthquake animation. I think it looks nicer. As Doublade comes out, goes for a Shadow Sneak, not able to take out the Crustle, but Earthquake is able to take it out, tying the batch up at 4 apiece. As Zygarde comes out, goes for the Extreme Speed, taking out Crustle. Now out comes Hydreigon, obviously fearing a Dragon-type move, goes right into Porygon 2, goes for a U-turn. Nice play there by 64, switches into Infernape as Golbat comes out on the Flare Blitz, does 48%. Can another max roll happen? It does, unfortunately, for the Chargers, as now Golbat goes down and forces a switch into Zygarde. And now here, this is a huge play right here, as Outrage is able to crit Donphan, goes for a Night Shard, lives the Night Shard, and another Outrage is able to get another crit, 2 crits in a row, to take out Zygarde, as a close combat does take out Zygarde. Actually, 2 crits to Donphan to take out Donphan. And then Volcarona comes out, goes for a Bug Buzz. Nice prediction there on the switch into Hydreigon. And switches back out into Infernape, forces a switch into Porygon, goes for a Flare Blitz, able to take it out. And now that shows that Volcarona is scarfed with a Psychic taking out Infernape. And the Buffalo Wild Chargers get their second win. No, get their win back because they lost last week. 1-0 over the 64ers. Scarfed Volcarona. I heard that the 64ers did not see that coming, but did put in pretty good work against his team. Would have been able to hurt, not really kill the Milotic, but hurt it. Bug Buzz was going to be able to outspeed the Alakazam and kill it. Giga Drain was going to be able to hurt Donphan, and obviously it killed 2 other mons. And Crustle would have probably lived a fire flamethrower like we had. I don't remember honestly, but yeah. Very good match by the 64s. They brought it back. They were losing 6-4, and they still brought it back with Crustle. Infernape was obviously a problem, taking out, I believe, 2. It took out, actually took out 3. Porygon, Zygarde, and Golbat, obviously. And yeah, just really good battle on their part. I wish them the best of luck in the next 2 matches. Next up, we're going to have Team Speed Boost versus Team Eon. Eon brought Garchomp, Venusaur, Mega Venusaur obviously, Entei, Cofagrigus, Mew, and Kecleon, while the Team Speed Boost brought Deontay, Skarmory, Nidoqueen, Gastrodon, Azulf, and Emboar. Mega Deontay, excuse me. Right off the bat, I can see, excuse me, let me look at the team right off fast. Nidoqueen, I believe, would be the best thing for this Team Speed Boost. Be able to take on Garchomp with Ice Beam, maybe even be able to live a hit. I know Nidoqueen is slower, but can still, I would not be surprised if it takes an Earthquake. Would do neutral damage to Venusaur, be able to hurt Entei a lot, Mew pretty decently. Vice versa, I would have to say that Venusaur is able to put in a lot of work. Should be able to put in a lot of work against Deontay. Obviously, Oko is the Gastrodon. Azulf could be a problem to it, but let's just get right into this battle. As we have Azulf leading against Kecleon on the Fake Out, which does crit. Unfortunately for Team Speed Boost, going off pretty well for Team Eon. As a Shadow Sneak comes out, we can see that it's Protean. As Skarmory will now switch into Gastrodon on the Flamethrower. Nice I don't know if they were predicting that there or what, but that was a really good switch on their part. As now it switches right into Venusaur on the Ice Beam, which is, again, a very nice prediction by Team Speed Boost. As they pull out another switch out into Emboar on the Mega Evolution Synthesis. So now we're sitting, and now Venusaur switches out into Cofagrigus on the Superpower. I don't know if they're predicting that or if they just want to take a hit, but they switch out into Nidoqueen on the Toxic Spikes, switches back out into Venusaur on the Critical Hit Sludge Wave. Switches back out into Azulf on the Synthesis again, switches back into Mew on the Knockoff. Great prediction there by Team Speed Boost. Excuse me, I always have the hiccups when I'm doing this. As the U-turn comes out onto Cofagrigus, we see that it is Mummy, obviously, and has the Rocky helmet. Switches right back onto Nidoqueen, get rid of the Toxic Spikes, goes for the Earth Power, gets another crit. There's been a lot of crits so far already in this battle. As they're going to switch right back out into Deontay, as Team Eon also switches into Garchomp, switches out into Entei, as Team Speed Boost switches out into Skarmory, switches right back into Cindy, goes for a Lava Plume, not able to take it out, as Cindy now switches back into Baconator, trying to predict the Hidden Power Grass or whatever, and switches out into Cofagrigus on the Earthquake, as Deontay comes in, on the Hex. I don't know why they went for Hex there, very interesting play, as now Venusaur comes out, goes for a Power Gem, does 36, so it's decent damage, as his Psychic comes out, lives, and they go for a Hidden Power instead of the Giga Drain, as a Power Gem is able to take out Venusaur. Very risky play by Team Speed Boost, does well for them. As now Garchomp pulls out a double into Mew as a knockoff from Azolf is not able to take it out, but U-turn is able to do just as much damage to Mew, as it switches right back out into Deontay as Mew Calm Minds. Deontay Calm Minds again as Mew Roosts. Oh, and now Deontay Calm Minds again as Mew also Calm Minds again as Moonblast is able to do 49 to it as another Calm Mind takes Mew up to 30 plus 3, but a Moonblast is able to take out Mew. Wow. Switches out into Cindy on the Earthquake from Garchomp, as now he's going to switch out into Azolf on the Levitate, showing that Garchomp is most likely Scarf. Switches into Cofagrigus on the Zen Headbutt, putting Azolf now down to 26%, as a knockoff is able to take out Cofagrigus, but Azolf is now just sitting at 10%. Want to preserve that Azolf, they switch out into Gastrodon on the Fake Out, as Cindy now is at 41%. Switch into Entei, they go for a Toxic, but unfortunately does miss. And now Gastrodon stays in on the Entei's Calm Mind. Very interesting to see special Entei. Actually, I really like that, as Entei goes for the Sunny Day, which is a really nice part, as he switches out into Baconator on the Solar Beam. Nice prediction there, as now Emboar is 100% able to wall Entei that only has 2 attacking moves, one being fire, one being grass. As on the Earthquake, they switch into Kecleon, goes for an Earthquake, Shadow Sneak, excuse me, as Emboar is able to take out Kecleon with an Earthquake. Sorry, I'm a few turns behind. As Garchomp comes out, goes for a Facade on the obviously resisted Skarmory. As Garchomp switches into Entei on the Drill Peck, only does 22%, still showing that Garchomp is probably Scarfed, as Entei goes for her Lava Plume, able to kill the burn the Nidoqueen, as an Earth Power shows that Nidoqueen is Scarfed and takes out Entei, as Garchomp comes out, goes for the Fire Fang, as the Poison Point actually poisons Garchomp, as now Deontay comes out, goes for Fire Fang, showing that it is Scarfed, as the Moonblast takes it out, and Team Speed Boost, showing that they are still, even 2 and 5 right now, I still think that they're one of the best teams in this league. Just very unfortunate earlier. Deontay putting in work again, even though it did not do anything last week. Emboar putting on the threats. Forgot what else gets to heal, but nice predictions there with Gastrodon knowing when Entei was going to go for her Solar Beam or whatever. Very interesting Calm Mind, Lava Plume, Sunny Day, and Solar Beam set on Entei. I really enjoy watching that. I love seeing original sets that could be taken. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to use it. I know that Mike was holding Iron Tail? Bullet Punch or Iron Tail on Kecleon for that Deontay. I really wanted him to use it, but, I mean, oh well. So let's just go right now into the next matchup. We see Mandy the Turtle, the Nidokings and Queens versus Rockhands and the Sundance Kids. Usually I read it right here, that's how I go through it. So the Nidokings and Queens brought Gliscor, Zapdos, Lazzle, Jellicent, Haxorus, and Miltank. The Sundance Kids brought Venusaur, Torkoal, Goodra, Mega Houndoom, Clefable, and Lando Therian. Right off the bat, we can see a Sunbeam again with Torkoal, Venusaur, and Houndoom. Obviously a big threat, but should be able to do a decent job with Jellicent and Haxorus maybe to pull out a win. But probably going to be Thick Fat. Wait, does Thick Fat help with burn? Or is it just free? Yeah, it helps burn. Ignore me. Again, 3 hours of sleep. So, well, actually, don't ignore me. You gotta listen to me. But Gliscor comes out versus a Torkoal, as Gliscor does take out rocks, as the Lava Plume not able to burn the Gliscor, unfortunately, and now Gliscor switches out into Miltank on the Torkoal's rocks. Body Slam onto Torkoal does get the paralysis, but obviously it doesn't really matter because Torkoal is already slow enough, as the Earthquake only does 26%. As the Rapid Spin comes out for Torkoal, getting rid of the rocks, which could be very handy and later down the road, as Landorus comes in, to intimidate the Miltank, as Miltank goes for rocks, as Gliscor comes out again on the knockoff. Obviously it doesn't matter, it's already paralyzed. poisoned. As Lander switches out into Goodra on the Ice Fang. Nice job there, but Gooey does slow down Gliscor, so Goodra should be able to outspeed next turn as Miltank comes out on the Draco Meteor, which does 58%, which is very nice damage, especially on a Miltank, as Goodra is now forced to switch into Torkoal to put up those rocks again, as Miltank goes for the Milk Drink. Did I say put up the rocks again? I might put up the sun again. As they pulled out a double out into Venusaur, as now Venusaur goes for a Z growth, which is very scary. But unfortunately for them, a Body Slam paralyzes Venusaur, as now Giga Drain is able to bring Venusaur back over half, and as another Body Slam is able to bring it down, as Salazzle comes out, goes for Sludge Bomb, takes out Salazzle, and now out comes Zapdos as well, as it forces a switch out into Houndoom on the hidden power, is able to resist it. I don't know what it is, maybe it's Psychic? No, it can't be Psychic. As Gliscor now comes out on the Mega Houndoom's Flamethrower, able to take out Gliscor, and still with one turn left, they're going to have to sack something else. They decide to sack off Miltank on the Dark Pulse again, and now it's 6-3 for the Sundance Kids as Jellicent comes out. It's interesting as Torkoal also comes back out, puts up the Sun just one last time before it goes down to a Scald. As now Jellicent is sitting at full as the Mega Houndoom comes out and goes for a Dark Pulse, not able to take it out, and Jellicent takes out Mega Houndoom. Very, very nice job there, as Jellicent is now standing tall, but falls to a knockoff from Landorus. Zapdos now comes out, showing that it has Hidden Power Ice, switches out into Goodra. On said Hidden Power Ice only does 18%. The next one will not be able to kill, but they still go for it anyway to try to get the damage off as Ice Beam takes out the Zapdos. And now out comes Haxorus as the Poison Jab does come out. Unfortunately, that does mean that Gooey also hits Haxorus, as we see that it is Life Orb. Landorus is able to come out, puts out the Intimidate, goes for the Earthquake, not able to take it out, and the Dragon Claw is not able to take it out, but the Life Orb takes himself out, going the way a Haxorus should go out. Very nice comeback by Mandy and Chris. They were losing 6-3. They came back to only lose 3-6. I mean, same thing, but it doesn't really matter. I thought there was gonna be a 6-0 after they lost their first three. But Jellicent standing tall, showing that it is still very bulky, living a Dark Pulse, Solar Power, Mega Houndoom, which is very, very, not a lot of things can say that. Just give me a second, guys. Something came up on my phone. I know this is very, very unprofessional. But, I mean, something's important. Next we'll go to the second to last battle. We have Team Build-Up versus Strength Dragonites. You lose and you're out of the playoff race in this one, so this is very important for these two. I mean, both teams are very unlikely to make it to the playoffs, but the playoff chances are still there. They still want to cling on to it, and we'll see how this thing goes. We have Mega Beedrill, Alolan Muck, Cloyster, Chandelure, Salamence, and Metagross on Team Build-Up's team. Strength Dragonites brought Scrafty, Tapu Koko, Flygon, Vaporeon, Mega Aggron, and Crobat. Right off the bat, I can see that Chandelure should be putting in a lot of damage, especially if it has Hidden Power Ice, like it should have against our team when we defeated them, but neither here or there. It should be able to hurt Koko pretty well if you get it on a switch in. Aggron won't be able to like any fire type moves. And it's not like anything really wants to take a flamethrower from a Chandelure. Vice versa, take out the Chandelure and Mega Aggron should be having a field day. I can see all of these physical hitters. You have this is the message to Team Build-Up. You have to bring more special attackers. Like, yeah, sure, these the Strength Dragonites didn't bring a lot of special attackers either, but this is the second time where I've seen this exact team, maybe except for Swampert for Cloyster or whatever. you gotta versatile this a little bit better. That's all I'm trying to say. But let's just get right into this battle as Metagross comes out against Tapu Koko. Koko switches out into Crobat. First turn crit kills Crobat. Luckily, the Meteor Mash does not give him the attack raise, as Aggron now comes out, goes for the Mega Evolutions, and Hone Claws comes out, which is very nice to see. Very interesting. You don't really see that a lot on the rocks, as Zen Headbutt comes out. Very interesting. I don't know why they don't have Earthquake, especially if they know that they're going to face against the Mega Aggron, as Fire Punch comes out onto Metagross. Switches into... Let me catch up. Switches into Salamence on the Aggron's Roar, switches back into Metagross, goes for a Bullet Punch on the Aggron's Roar again into Alolan Muck. We know that Alolan Muck is not able to do anything unless it has Fire Punch. The Iron Head does a lot and flinches Alolan Muck, as now that forces a substitute. I don't know why that is. On the Iron Head again, taking out the sub. Excuse me, as Chandelure now comes out, takes rocks damage, takes Iron Head damage. Not a good move by there by Team Buildup, as now they switch out into Scrafty on the Pain Split, only getting a good chunk back, as they have leftovers on Chandelure. Switches out into Salamence on the Dragon Tail, and now Salamence is not able to come back in on rocks as Chandelure comes out. Goes for a Fire Blast. It does a good chunk to it as the knockoff takes out Chandelure, their only special hitter. So now Aggron should be able to have a very nice day there. As now Mega Beedrill comes out, switches out into said Aggron on the U-turn from Mega Beedrill. Switches back into Metagross, goes for a Bullet Punch, trying to get chip damage off on it, but dies to its own Life Orb damage, as now Shellder comes out. Cloyster comes out on the Iron Head, not able to take it out with an Iron Head, but Icicle Spear is able to connect, only does 5% each time. 5 times 5 is only 25, unfortunately. Simple math, I know. But now Roar comes out, making sure that now Cloyster cannot come back in on rocks, as now Beedrill comes out, goes for the U-turn on Vaporeon. Very nice damage there, as now Alolan Muck is sitting at 26% after leftovers, as the Scald not able to take it out, but does get the burn, nullifying the leftovers, and that's allowing Vaporeon to get poisoned from the knockoff, but also allowing Vaporeon to go for a Wish right now, as I spoil it, I'm sorry. On the Muck's Shadow Sneak, switches back out into Aggron, and spoiler alert right here, Aggron is now basically at full health, all physical attackers, with that bulky physical defense, plus rocks that they set up earlier. Aggron is now able to take out everything. The Iron Head on the Alolan Muck, the rocks kill Salamence, Fire Punch takes out Beedrill, and the rocks will take out Cloyster as well. Like I said, Team Build Up, you gotta get some more special attackers in there, especially if you know that you're taking on a physically bulky mon known as Mega Aggron. Also, I don't know if Salamence had Defog or not, but you have a mon that's weak to rocks to get rid of rocks. I mean, yeah, that's been done before. I've done it before, but it's not ideal. You need better hazard control, especially since your team, like 4/6 of your teams, 2/3 of your team was weak to rocks. Beedrill, Cloyster, Chandelure, and Salamence all take 25% from rocks. And Big Tugger there, he saw that. He had Dragon Tail on Scrafty, Roar on Mega Aggron, so that you can switch in and out. Also, your Metagross didn't have Earthquake. You're facing against Mega Aggron. But that's enough. That's enough down, putting you guys down. But I really enjoyed your matchup. Your matchup win against the 64s. It actually also helped the Buffalo Wild Chargers, so thumbs up there. I really hope that you guys do better next season. I can't wait to have you guys in Season 3, but unfortunately that does mean that your playoff hopes are gone. Giants Dragonites, congratulations on a win. Losing, what, 5 straight? maybe 6 straight, I don't remember. But putting your guys' self back on track, still have hopes for a playoff. Again, very unlikely, but we will see. Alright, next up is, my opinion, the battle of the week. The Ultra Beast versus I Don't Know, Ask Dark. I Don't Know, Ask Dark brought Pyukumuku, Reuniclus, Type Null, Thunderous Therian, Tracheon, and Dugtrio, as Lucy Goosey and Hoobi brought Mega Scizor, Crocodile, Suicune, Neolego, Shaman, and Gardevoir. Right off the bat, I can see Type Null, Pyukumuku, and Reuniclus with Dugtrio. I don't know why I said Dugtrio on that 4 thing, but that's a really bulky squad right there, hard to get through. If anything can get through to it, unfortunately, it's Reuniclus. But also with those 3 mons, they also have a Thundurus, a Tracheon, and Dugtrio. This time I'm saying Dugtrio correctly. Very scary trio right there, especially if something goes down. Then Dugtrio can come out and take it out. Gonna be a very interesting battle, and it was in a way. In a way. Crocodile starts it off against Thundurus, as the Intimidate obviously doesn't mean anything to Thundurus, but it still switches out into Pyukumuku, as Crocodile switches out into Gardevoir. Goes for a trick. It does nothing though, which is very interesting, showing that Pyukumuku does not have an item, because we see that hashtag no item there. But goes for a double trick on the Reuniclus, scarfing the Reuniclus, as Gardevoir now has the Assault Vest, which is able to take that Shadow Ball very nicely. As Crocodile now comes out, goes for a Shadow Ball again, forces a switch out into Pyukumuku on the Earthquake. As now Pyukumuku is going to fall for a taunt, as it cannot go for a recover now. On the Earthquake does 36% again, but Counter is able to take it down to not able to kill Crocodile, but the Stealth Rocks comes out for Crocodile. Nice prediction on the switch there. Switches out into Gardevoir on the Thundurus' Nasty Plot, goes for a Flash Cannon, takes out Gardevoir, as out comes Neolego, forces a switch into Reuniclus on the Power Gem, which does crit, but that crit didn't matter because they do switch out into Tracheon on the Scizor, which forces a double into Type Null. On the Mega Evolution, Bullet Punch would have been able to take on Tracheon, as a knockoff takes out Type Null's Eviolite on the Hidden Power Fire. Very nice to see, but Scizor switches up, goes for a Roost, predicting a U-turn on Type Null. Very nice job there by Ultra Beast on the Pyukumuku switch in, as they go for a U-turn, taking out Pyukumuku, as Reuniclus comes out versus Shaman. Shaman goes for the Leech Seed on the Shadow Ball. We can see that it is not Magic Guard Reuniclus, as we already saw from Rock's damage. Switches out into Thundurus on Shaman's substitute. Leech Seed comes out onto Thundurus on the Thundurus' Nasty Plot. And now Shaman goes for a Seed Flare, obviously resisted, but Shaman now outspeeds Thundurus because they decided to run Modest instead of Timid. Takes out Thundurus with Shaman. Now goes for another Seed Flare, but does not able to connect, as a Hidden Power Fire comes out, as another Seed Flare comes out on Type Null, taking it out, as Tracheon now comes out, goes for the Poison Jab, able to take out Shaman. But unfortunately that does mean that Scizor comes out as well, goes out into Reuniclus on the Bullet Punch. It does 43% to it, as another Bullet Punch comes out, is able to take out Reuniclus, as now Dugtrio comes out, and Scizor goes for a Bullet Punch again, taking out Dugtrio. And spoiler alert, the Bullet Punch will take out Tracheon as well, leaving a 4-0 victory from the Ultra Beast over, I Don't Know, Ask Dark. I don't know why Thundurus didn't outspeed. Mike and Polly were talking about it. I believe that Thundurus was not max speed, which it should have been in order to outspeed Shaman, but that was just not the case. Unfortunately for I Don't Know, Ask Dark, that does take them out of the contention for first place, I believe. I could be wrong, I don't know. Actually, let's find out. With 2 battles to go, we have Team Build-Up and the Nido Kings and Queens officially out of the playoffs, unfortunately, because they have lost. They needed to win out, like their counterparts, Dragon Knights and Speed Boost, who have both won against their respective opponents. The 64s unfortunately have lost, but they are not out. They can still very well win it. They are sitting at 3-4 and +3. Better differential than Team Eon, which is sitting at 4-3 and +2. Buffalo Wild Chargers, the first time in the playoff contention, top 4, I should say. Excuse me, I always burp when I'm recording. I'm sorry. 4-3 and +5. I don't know why Stark falls to 5-4 +9. Wait, are they more losses? Should be. What is going on here? No. They're 5-2 and +9. That was weird. Sorry about that, guys. Ultra Beasts are now 6-1 and +18, and the Sundance Kids 7-0 and 26. So let's go to the playoff race now. As you can see, the Nido Kings and Queens and the Team Build-Up are officially out of the playoff spot. They cannot enter the playoffs, unfortunately for them. And the Sundance Kids now officially have clinched the playoff spot, with the Ultra Beast literally one win behind. If they win, or if Team Eon and the Buffalo Wild Chargers lose, they clinch playoff. I don't know, Aztec. I believe they can actually clinch if everything goes their way. They need to win against whoever they're facing. I don't know off the top of my head. We'll get there to that when we get to that. And I think if Team Eon and the Buffalo Wild Chargers lose, then do they? Yeah, because I think that if they both lose, then they officially clinch playoff spot as well. So that would definitely help them. The Buffalo Wild Chargers, they need to win. They don't need to win out, but they just need to win the same amount as Team Eon, but also win in differential. That's actually what I want to talk to you guys about. Halfway through the season, I'm not going to change the way that, like the priority on how you advanced over things. It goes, this season will go win-loss record, then differential, then head-to-head. Next season, because I got some pretty good points from Jake and Mike, and even Dark, I think he's mentioned it. I could be wrong. Again, 3 hours of sleep, don't judge me. But they both said that it should be head-to-head, then differential. Very good points there. Next season, I will do it that way. Just this for remainder of the season, I'm going to do differential, then head-to-head. So as of right now, the Buffalo Wild Chargers need to beat Team Eon head-to-head in order to clinch their playoff spot. Vice versa for Team Eon, they have the same record. They cannot tie the Buffalo Wild Chargers, or else the Chargers will make the playoffs since they did lose to them. But they do need to beat them in differential. Right now they are 3 behind. The 64ers, they do get eliminated next week if they lose against the Ultra Beast. I believe that's who they face. And if the Chargers can beat the Nido Kings and Queens. If not, then they're still in the playoffs. Speed Boost and the Dragon Knights, they both need 3 things to happen this week. They need, well, they only need 2 out of the 3 this week, but they need the Wild Chargers and Team Eon to lose. And they need to win. Actually, what they need is all 3 of them to lose. The Wild Chargers, Team Eon, and the 64ers to lose. And they both need to win in order to keep their playoff hopes alive. The reason why they need the 64ers to win, to lose this week, is because the Team Eon and the 64ers play the last week. Then they need the 64ers to beat Team Eon and them to win their respective battles. That's very unlikely. There's just a lot of musts that they need to do. Let's go to the power rankings. Again, read on your own accord. I did finish them like half an hour ago because I've been recording for half an hour. Team build-up, Nido Kings and Queens. Dragon Knights move up a spot as Nido Kings and Queens move down a couple spots. Team Speed Boost moves up a spot. 64s move down one. Team Eon moves down one. Buffalo Wild Chargers are now in the top 4. I don't know, as Dark, Ultra Beast, and the Sundance Kids all remain on their respective spots. Let's go to the kill-death ratio, as now we have Alola Ninetales sitting at 2 2/3. We have Zygarde and Garchomp holding the 3. Hariyama now is 4 0. So I'm saying that's like a little less than 4.5 because Venusaur does have 4.5 and it also has 9 kills. Deontay is. Pay no attention. Pay no attention. Pay no attention to me. Pay no attention to me. Don't pay attention to what I am doing. Pay no. Sorry about that, guys. I guess I'm gonna have to do some editing because I'm not doing that. I'm not restarting that. I was already half an hour in. But what I had to do is I switched because I could not do math apparently. Mega Deontay should be below Venusaur, 4 1/3. Venusaur is at 4 1/2. Scizor is at 5. Volcanion, I'm going to say 8 1/2. Volcarona is now 9 1, and Neolego still in that top spot, 15 1. For the kill leaders, we have both Donphan and Mega Alexand, both from the 64s, 8 5. We have Ninetales from I don't know as Dark, 8 3. Volcanion was one of the top ones. Now they're one of the they're still in the top 10, but the one on the bottom in the top 10. Number 7, still at 8 0. Zygarde 9 3, tied with Garchomp, also 9 3. Excuse me, from the Wild Chargers and Team Eon respectively. Venusaur is sitting at 9 2 from the Sundance Kids. Volcarona is now 9 1 with the Wild Chargers. Team Speed Boost has Deontay 13 3, and Neolego is at 15 1. So now let's go to the schedule. Again, just 2 weeks remaining. It's getting very exciting. Team Eon will face against Sundance Kids, which is huge for them. Team Eon needs to win. Well, they don't need to win right now, but a win right here would be very, very important in the long run, especially since who the Buffalo Wild Chargers will be facing next week, as we'll get to them in a second. I do believe that if the Sundance Kids do not just hand them the victory, then I believe that the Sundance Kids should pull out the win. Not saying that Team Eon can't. They definitely could, but we'll definitely see how that goes. Team build-up. We'll be facing against I don't know Astark. I don't know Astark should be able to pull out the win there. That is what my guess would be. This one's not really that important because I don't know Astark has clinched. It's just about to clinch a playoff spot. Team build-up lost a playoff spot. This is not really that important. Buffalo Wild Chargers fighting to keep their 4th spot in the playoffs faces against the Nido Queens, or Nid Queens, as I just see that I misspelled all Nido Queens. Good job, AA. Ignore that. That was my laundry. Buffalo Wild Chargers should be able to pull out the win. That's my guess. But, I mean, it is the woman who kills. She could definitely kill my hopes and dreams with a win against us. The Ultra Beast will be facing against the 64s. Ultra Beast will clinch a playoff spot if they win here against the 64s. But the 64s are trying to keep that playoff hope alive. And then finally, the Drunk Dragonites will be facing against Team Speed Boost. Right? Yeah. So, you lose and you're out. That is a huge match. And the other one has potential to stay alive if both Team Eon and the Buffalo Wild Chargers do lose. So that would be huge for them as well. A very close race between Team Eon, Buffalo Wild Chargers, and the 64s. I guess you could even say that I don't know, as Dark is also kind of in danger, but I really wouldn't worry about that too much. They still have a game ahead, even the Wild Chargers and Team Eon, but still mathematically they are in danger of losing a playoff spot. Other than that, It's really nice talking to you guys again. Hopefully that editing shouldn't take too long. I think I have something. I don't think I got rid of my video editing software. Sorry about like not able to talk as properly. Sitting on 3 hours of sleep. It is 10 o'clock right now, actually. Holy shit. And I should not have done that. Oh well, I done it. Good luck to everyone in week 8. Playoffs. Season 3 poll is coming out again soon again. Probably early next week, maybe middle next week. Actually, I have exams next week. Fuck. So late next week. Alright, guys. Peace.